In this video, I'm covering the steps needed to configure a quick database in BigQuery and then how to connect to it using ServiceNow Zero Copy Connector feature. We have a connector for BigQuery as part of Workflow Data Fabric, meaning we can do a zero copy query to BigQuery to retrieve data in real time. Or just in time, I should say, from ServiceNow without having to duplicate the data. So I'm in the Google Cloud Console. I may poke around because I don't remember I've done that before. I'm not an expert in BigQuery, so I'm just gonna learn as I'm going. So select a project. I don't have project. I'm gonna create a new one. I'm gonna call it ServiceNow and BQ because it's BigQuery. I don't have an organization. I'm on a trial, so hopefully it works. I mean, I don't even have any subscription. I don't pay anything to Google Cloud, so let's see how far we can go. So I create the project. Then I can do select the project. From here, I can deploy resources on the project. So let's see. I can go into BigQuery because that's what I want to do. And so here looks like I have my little project there. And I probably don't have any data. So I could click on add data. So far it's pretty straightforward. Data ingestion from local file. So why don't we just try that? I'm gonna give it a sample CSV file and just try to create some kind of schema and load some demo data into it so I can query it then from ServiceNow. So let's try that. To generate, I just need a file that contains some rows, some data that I can use to create the table. I'm just using ChatGPT. I don't have a use case in mind. I just want to test the connection to BigQuery for now. So I'm just asking GPT to create that sample data that I'm gonna load in BigQuery. Hopefully it's gonna work the first time. All right, so it looks like GPT has generated the data for me. I can download. There we go. I'm gonna open it just to verify the format. So I don't do this blindly. Yeah, cool. That works for me. Motorcycle part, there is a header. So let's use this in BigQuery. Local file. Browse. Motorcycle part, inventory. CSV format, project, dataset. Loaded dataset. Create a new dataset. Sure, looks like I need a dataset. I'm gonna call it dataset BQ. Don't care about the region. And create a dataset. Select it. Table name. Parts. Inventory. Auto detect the schema. I guess it's gonna detect the schema. No partitioning. Don't care about all of that. I just want to do a quick test. Create table. Go to job. Let's see how that works. Okay. It seems that we are set. Part inventory, and we can open it. Okay. Well, it's missing. Oh, that's a schema. Okay. Perfect. And I can preview the data. Excellent. I got data. And it's interesting. ChatGPT remember all the motorcycle I've owned or I currently own, and he use this for the sample data. He knows what type of part I usually buy. That's scary. All right. So now we have this data. We have a table, simple table in BigQuery. We just have to figure out what the step needed to kind of create a service principal or user we can use to establish the connection. So let's do that. On the ServiceNow side, what we require for BigQuery. So I'm going to go in Workflow Data Fabric Hub, which is where you configure the connector, Zero Copy Connector to BigQuery. Here, if it works. But if I click on the connect here, on the connection, label connection name, the only thing it takes is a service account JSON. So that's what I need to generate. And that JSON will contain service account name, type, project ID, and a private key. So I need to figure out how to generate this in BigQuery. So let's do that. So my plan is to create a service account. So there's service account there. And I can create service account. And I'm going to call it ServiceNow ZCC. And used by instance. You know what? Gonna do this the right way. The name of my instance is there. So I can track this back. Right? Used by ServiceNow. To query BigQuery inventory table. Create and continue. I'm gonna say I'm gonna do something that you probably don't want to do. Put the role. I don't know exactly what role I need, so I think I'm gonna go back to service accounts. Apologize for that. I'm gonna click on it. There's no role into it, so I need to manage permission, manage account permission, add a role, select role. And I was hoping there's BigQuery role showing up. So let's see if I have BigQuery here. BigQuery connection user, job user, data viewer. I'm gonna say data viewer. Add another role. BigQuery. I could put BigQuery admin. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna put BigQuery admin because I can, but you probably don't want to do that. BigQuery job user. Anyway, we're gonna do this. Of course, you do this for quick testing, not for production. I'm not responsible for this, right? I'm not an expert in BigQuery. So I'm clicking save. And then I probably need to create the key for it. So I'm gonna say I need to go in key. And then click add key. Create the new key. Maybe I think I need to do that. JSON, because that's what ServiceNow is requiring. So I got a key there. I'm not going to open it. All right. Well, I guess we have the key. Now we can go back to ServiceNow and test. If I've done everything right, it will work. Okay, put the JSON. It's tied to my private key, my project ID. And I'm gonna click connect. Establishing the connection, perfect. All right, that's beautiful. Connection established for the first time, I like it. So I should load the data set. I only created one table, so now we can see it there. I can create a data fabric table from it, my virtual table. So let's do it. Select what column I want to bring, I want to expose to ServiceNow. I'm going to select all of it. And we have a part ID that I'm using as a primary key. I'm not going to change anything. It's just a quick test, but you can obviously, if you have an ID that you can refer to in ServiceNow, you could use reference field. Yeah, I don't have any relationship. I don't want to create any reference field. This is just a quick ad hoc standalone quick testing. Mostly curious about the step in BigQuery, so I can document the step, and this may help some colleagues. And yeah. So here we have the virtual table that I can now do glide query on it, and it will go through Zero Copy and connect via BigQuery using that service account we created. I can see normally if everything is working. I can see the data from it. So it should be quick. It's probably, I think, the first time we do it. I don't know what it's doing, but normally it's fairly quick. Even though you have like million of record, it will push down the SQL query, and it should be very fast. So now you can see, I can see the exact data that we see in Databricks. So this is not copied over. It's every time, if I have million of record, every time I click next to the next 100 record, it will push down the SQL query and do pagination to go query the next 100 record and display it. As soon as I close the list view, memory is flushed, nothing is stored in ServiceNow. It's just displaying the data or grabbing the data from a workflow, from an AI agent from the memory. All right, so that's about it. So the data we see here, it's exact same data that we see in my project. If I go to my BigQuery project here, I'll have to see how do we go back to my database. I'm gonna go back to Cloud Hub, and if I go to kind of not really familiar with the UI, as you can tell. Here we go, got my project, got my resource BigQuery. I got my data that we imported, so we've done it together, part inventory, and I can do preview. And what you see here, it's exactly what you see here. That's the whole point of Zero Copy. So it's just performing Zero Copy, just performing pushing down SQL query using our federated query engine. We use Trino in our data center to connect to BigQuery and retrieve the data like that. I hope that's helpful. Thanks.